Lords of Shadow is the newest Castlevania title from Konami, celebrating 25 years of the franchise while reimagining the series in an entirely new timeline. Fans of the series will be pleased to know that not all has changed, but may become weary of the new direction the developers have taken their beloved Belmonts. The story follows Gabriel Belmont as he sets forth on an adventure to bring back his dead wife Marie and rid the world of the evil Lords of Shadow, along with the help of his mysterious companion Zobek. All of the characters are fully realized and feature superb voice acting, with Robert Carlyle and Patrick Stewart at the helm. After a handful of recent symphony-esque side-scrolling releases, Lords of Shadow takes the series back into the 3D realm, where it has failed in the past. From the first moment you take control, comparisons to the God of War games are prevalent. Combat has been streamlined to match the fluidity of these titles, and players can even upgrade their attack list in similar fashion. That being said, the combat system is solid, and making enemies explode into blood is when Lords of Shadow is at its best, even if you're fighting a wolf for the billionth time, or an evil coffin monster thing. The comparisons don't stop there though, as Castlevania Lords of Shadow feels more like a conglomerate of successful game mechanics from multiple titles over the last few years, rather than its own unique experience. The list of games Konami borrows from stretches from Prince of Persia to Shadow of the Colossus, with giant titan battles intact, complete with weak points that Gabriel must destroy while scaling the massive bosses. Everything is well handled, and the game features some of the most beautiful graphics and cutscenes of this generation. Not to mention, Gabriel has the most dreamy feathered hair. Just look at those layers! But there are many elements where Lords of Shadow falls flat. The pacing of the game starts out strong, but approximately halfway through this 20-hour-plus journey, many frustrating design choices start to take their toll. Arbitrary puzzles break up the linear action, and often rely too heavily on trial and error rather than clever solutions. Traversal is also hindered by fixed camera angles and dodgy platforming that commonly results in Gabriel's untimely demise, and many of the levels leave you wondering where to go next, with no indication of what needs to be done. All too often, the game repeatedly forces you to fight wave after wave of enemy before progressing. This method of lengthening a game feels lazy by today's conventions. Complaints aside, Castlevania Lords of Shadow does offer enough reasons to pick up your combat cross and finish the quest. The cinematic cutscenes unfold an engaging story that left me genuinely intrigued as to where Gabriel's story would take him, and though the gameplay is vastly different than other Castlevania titles, there were many touches that evoked a sense of nostalgia. The sound design is epic, as is the score, and little nuances such as Gabriel's grunts when taking damage were yet another nod to the classic games of the series. Overall, Castlevania Lords of Shadow is a successful reboot for the franchise, and the phenomenal, albeit surprising ending sets the stage for sequels to come. This is Cliff from Mahalo Games, and I give Castlevania Lords of Shadow a 4 out of 5.
Explode into blood!
Explode into blood, damn you! I command you to explode!